In this video, I wanted to talk to you about some kind of weird and wonderful uses for the Helix using a microphone. Mark Ruffalo. It didn't work there. You can use a microphone and you can use that XLR input on your Helix with a microphone. And so here's a preset I made earlier, and I just want to show you quickly how you'd get through and do this. And I want to start with a preset which already has stuff in it and show you how to add a microphone as like another signal path. So what you can do, go on to this signal chain and add in a compressor, and then move that down onto this second path, and then this you want to move across and continue moving across and down with your joystick, and then and then the same with this little, or down, sorry. Good. And then this join here, press action, and then down, and then this microphone path, well, what is going to be a microphone path will be on its very own. And what I'm doing is sending this out through SEM 1 or 2. So this here is my microphone output, and then go across, and you want to set the input as mic. Okay, and then that is coming through the XLR here, into here, and then into a compressor. So you can obviously treat that like any other kind of signal input, and you could put reverb and delay and stuff on it if you wanted to, but that's how you do that. If you need phantom power, that's in your global settings. So global settings, and you see ins and outs, mic in, 48 volts, phantom on. And you can see there's also a low cut, mic gain, and other options in there. I used phantom power off by default until I've actually connected the microphone. That's what it says to do in the manual. So whilst you're connecting the microphone, leave the phantom power off, and then when it's all ready, turn it on. So that's how you set up your microphone. So just very quickly again, put in a compressor, move it down to this other signal path, then move the join points, like that, and then all the way across and down, and then your inputs change to mic. And I could go this way, couldn't I? That'd be quicker. And then same again, press in and out through send 1, and that is set up for my microphone. You can also set up a gate, obviously. So that's how you set up your microphone, or put it in on another signal path, and you could use this for lots of different things, and that's what I'm going to explore now. So I think here's the first most obvious kind of use that I can think of for this. So I'm going to add in a compressor. Okay, and now I've got my microphone here, and this is what I was doing for my live stream the other day, but I can talk into the microphone. I've just muted the camera audio, so hopefully this works. It's not going to work. No. Right, yeah, I need to do this first. So I need to go turn on phantom power. So, thing to check if things aren't working. And now I'm going to turn off the camera audio. So yeah, now I'm talking into the microphone, and at the moment I think it's going out multi, so I'm going to turn this off so it's going out via send 1, 2, I think. So what I was also doing was setting it up so that the level of the compressor is controlled by expression pedal 2. And then what that means is I can play guitar and turn down the voice when I'm not speaking into that, so you're just hearing the camera audio, and then fade it back in. Oop, that's loud now, isn't it? Fade it back in, because that's done plus 12. So set your parameters here. So my max value I want to be 0, not 12 dB. Close enough. So now my max value is not peaking, and now it's off. So that's one useful way to use it, I think, as part of like a streaming setup. And you could do this for like podcasts, or you could do this for teaching. So you can hear I've got guitar coming through and my voice. So you can hear I've got guitar coming through and voice. You could even sing, couldn't you, if you're into singing? But yeah, you can obviously also put on things like, hold on. You could put on a voice thing. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. You could put on a voice thing like this, and then that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Potentially for students, or, you know, for scaring the neighbours. Anyway, that's one use of the XLR that I thought probably is pretty useful, and that's how I'm going to be live streaming from now on. So I've got set up this mic on a stand, and then I have the Helix on the floor controlling the level of the microphone and bring that in and out so I don't have ambient noise coming through when I'm just playing. The second way that I've been using this method is with a condenser microphone up against my hollow body Gibson ES165. I'm doing a thing sort of like Tim Miller or Jonathan Kreisberg, where I'm blending in to my normal kind of jazz tone, the acoustic kind of ambient sound in the room of the guitar, and that can do some kind of interesting things. It perhaps gives a bit more life to the tone in some ways, or, you know, a bit more of a snappy attack in some ways as well. But it's just something that I've been playing with. I think it's quite an interesting way to experiment with things. You could obviously do this with a real acoustic guitar as well, and that might help to get past some of the piezo kind of quack stuff. So if you had like a not too sensitive mic, but you could also blend that in, you know, you probably wouldn't want to be using like a really sensitive condenser mic live on a stage. I think those can sometimes have issues with feedback and stuff. But, you know, with creative use of a gate and with a condenser mic, potentially you might be able to blend in some kind of interesting tones. So the setup for that is exactly the same, although you might want to add on like a reverb or something post. May want to increase kind of the low cut so you don't get like rumbles of feet and stage noise or whatever if you're actually playing on a stage. It's 2021, so I guess you're not. But that was literally the setup that I was using for this. So I've just got the condenser mic going into a compressor and then back out to the digital audio workstation. I may have even just sent it out completely dry to the digital audio workstation and processed it separately, but you get the principle, and you could blend that in with the foot pedal as well if you wanted to do that sort of thing. So that's kind of use 2. Okay, so this is weird and wonderful use case 3, where I'm not even plugging into my Helix at all with a guitar. What you see is I'm plugging into my amp, and I want you to imagine this is potentially like an amp without an effects loop, like an old Marshall or something like that, or a Fender Princeton, anything like that. But you're wanting to run your amp, and maybe you're wanting to run it with a bit of dirt and stuff, so if you put delays and stuff in front of the amp, it will sound a certain way. So what I've done is sent the mic signal down here, and you'll see I've got a Roland Space Echo going into a particle verb and a searchlights and a glitz reverb, and this is going to be a super kind of wet sound and super ambient, but hopefully you'll get the kind of impression. And I think what I'll do is mute the camera video at this point so you can get the sense of what it sounds like dry. And then I'm also sending the output through there, but I've got a send of just the dry guitar signal here. So this send is just the dry guitar signal, and that sounds like this. So hopefully you can see that's potentially quite a powerful thing that you may or may not have thought of. I've not thought of trying this before today. I was speaking to Ross yesterday, and he said Eric Johnson did this sort of thing with his Marshall Plexis and sent out to a mixer and then back through kind of rack effects and delays, so he had this kind of wet dry thing going on. I don't know if he does it like that anymore, but it's something that he used to do. Quite an effective way to do that kind of wet dry thing, I think. And especially if you've got an amp which doesn't have an effects loop. So again, all I'm doing is plugging straight into my amp, then I'm using the mic input here, and I've got that on a separate line doing other things, so like delay, reverb. But you could do whatever you like, or you could potentially even plug from like the send out of the Helix into the front of the amp, do this in like a full cable method, but add the mic in as well. That's not something that I've tried yet, but it's something I might potentially do. Hopefully that's a few kind of things that you might not have thought to try. Maybe you have already seen these done elsewhere. I'm not sure that I have, but those were just some ideas that I thought this is something interesting that you could do with this XLR input. 3 uses, so whether that's live streaming or blending the acoustic tone of the guitar, or creating your own kind of wet dry rig with a real amp and your Helix. Just some thoughts. Let me know if that was interesting. Let me know if you've got some other weird and wacky things that you've been doing. I'm thinking you could also use a Captor X into here, if that was something that you were thinking about trying. So you could come out of the Boogie into a Captor X and then into the XLR input on the Helix, and that might be another super powerful thing to try. That's something I'm going to have to look into. Yeah, if you wanted to like and subscribe, you could. You could also get my other normal Helix presets. You can get those in the description if you want them. Thank you for stopping by. Cheers. Thanks for watching.